Hello fellows, here are the instructions for the next activity we're going to do in biology, and it's all about transpiration. So transpiration is just evaporation of water from the leaves of plants. And page 205, this is in chapter 13. Actually, all of chapter 13 is about plant transport, so it'd be good to have them look through that. But the specific part about transpiration is here on 205. It just talks about what it is, and transpiration is great because it's what actually is going to drive water to come all the way up, the stem, right? There's only so much that like adhesion and cohesion can take you, up that stem. There's only so much that capillary action can do to get water out of the soil and into the plant. So transpiration is what lets giant things like redwoods get water all the way to the leaves. So transpiration is affected by lots of stuff, and so this is a time. So if you turn the page 206, there's some information about things that affect transpiration, and we can take them back. Hey, remember in adaptations, different plants were adapted in different ways to their environment. Why did needly ones look needly, and why did ones in with broad leaves live in hot and wet environments? So they can be thinking back, oh yeah, they had little leaves so they didn't lose water. Well, losing water from your leaves is transpiration. And so their job is to figure out what are some of these factors that affect transpiration themselves. So big picture, we're going to put some plants in a bag and wait. But this is what they need to do. First, they will cut the tops off of 2 baggies. They will, at the end, they'll need I've got them in pairs. 2 baggies, 2 rubber bands. Then they take those baggies and they take the mass of them. Because once the water starts transpiring out of the leaves, it'll stick to the bag. There's probably not going to be enough to like pour out and take the volume. Most of it will condense on the side of the bag. So once you have that mass, I have them write in Sharpie on the bag the mass of each bag, because it might be different, the plant number and their team names and the block they're in. Then they get to go outside here, right around the patio area. And there are a bunch of different kinds of plants. There's different kinds of shrubs. There are, there's ivy. There are the pine trees, but I will tell you, it seems in general that the bags tend to blow off of the pine trees. I'm not 100% sure why, no matter how tight they put them on there. I wish it didn't, because it would be good to have, needly leaves don't transpire very much. They can try it, but just saying, for functionality's sake. Alright, so this team, the 2 things they decided to compare, so they chose the same species plant, and they put leaves plus flowers in this bag, and then in this one, it's just leaves. So like, how does presence of flowers, or do flowers transpire the same way as leaves do? That's kind of what they're comparing here. Other students may take the same plant and do part of the plant that's really in the sun and then part of the plant that's really in the shade. Some may do a healthy part of the plant versus a sick part of the plant. Some may do 2 totally different species altogether, which is fine. I just tell them that no matter what they're doing, they need to have the same amount of plant matter in their bag, so that you're ballparking at least the same amount of transpiring matter. And so my team, we're going to wait over the weekend because we're starting that today. But it works usually, especially if you use these plants. Even overnight is fine. You get, measurable results. Then, if you go to our shared folder as a class, I have the Transpiration Lab template, and they can just copy this and make their own, they can make a copy in their own folder. So their question, they're going to have to kind of figure out, will this plant or that plant transpire more, and why? So this team will be, right, will the part of the plant with flowers or the part without flowers transpire more, and why? Of course, their answer could also be they will respire equally. That's fine too. But so their hypothesis needs to be an answer to their question with an explanation of why they think that's true. For methods, instead of having them write up a method, I just have them actually put this picture, like I have them take pictures either of their two bags together if it's close, or each one has its own up close picture, and I just have them take those pictures and put it right here. And again, yeah, they just need to label which is plant 1 and which is plant 2 if it isn't obvious from the picture. So in the data table here, I have them describe the leaf shape for each one, the mass of the bag before the experiment, which they wrote on the bag, however many days later, right? So mass of the bag plus water after blank days, they need to write whatever that was. Okay, and right, so that's the mass of that. Then they'll subtract, of course, and take the mass of the water and then convert that to milliliters, 1-to-1 ratio. If you want to have them, put in the little functions, right, like equals that plus whatever, I don't know. If you want to have them put in the functions instead of just like calculating on their own and typing in there, that's fine. Then they'll need to make a graph. It'll just be a simple bar graph with two, sunny plant, shady plant bars, and write the milliliters on the y-axis. Simple. Okay, and then conclusion, right, was their hypothesis supported or rejected by your data? They need to actually answer their question. The sunny one was, transpired more because, and discuss transpiration and discuss how that plant is adapted or not. And then I also have them say, since this is a little rough around the edges kind of experiment, what are some sources of error and what might you do differently next time? So that's just a good thing to get them thinking and to acknowledge that this experiment isn't perfect, but no matter what they get, so say for instance their shady plant transpired more than their sunny plant. Not what you would expect, but they don't need to change their data just because they came out with weird results. You could even just get the whole class to do the same thing and then combine all your data. That would be nicer, but it's kind of hard for like 15 kids to all agree on the same thing. However you choose to do it. And then I'm just having them submit this for a lab grade in their own the individual folders that I have for them. So, right, I have this for all my little group. So I think Taylor probably has hers. Yeah. There's Taylor and her team. So that's pretty much it. It's quick, it's easy, it's simple, low materials. We have plenty of plastic baggies. We have plenty of rubber bands. We won't run out. And I will email McGee and let her know not to have the cleanup people take the bags off the plants. I think that's all. So let me know if you have questions, and I think the kids are going to like it.